Good evening. Hope everybody is doing well tonight. I'd like to welcome Jennifer back to the show. She was here yesterday physically, but mentally I think she was on Neptune. So she's back tonight. Yesterday I made another batch of gummies and edible gummies, and so. She normally only takes them before bed, so she really doesn't get to know, if you know what I mean. So anyway, she took a few yesterday before the show, actually, and after I got them done, because she was in some pain, and it laid her out. She was she was sitting right next to me, but she was kind of in and out of awakeness. So anyway, I had to pick on her. As far as the title of the show, I'm just trolling y'all. There's no super, you guys should know by now. There's no super secret email, and there's absolutely no 5 things that I could tell you, and you could survive, right? Because there's hundreds of things. But just kind of poking, at the usual commercial prepping channels, if you will, and their typical type of titling, their clickbait, if you will. So that's what inspired it. Some of them every day it's something new that you have to know or you have to buy in order to survive, and it gets a little nonsensical. I'll tell you what, there are a couple of channels though that I really do like, and I don't talk enough about what I do like, the channels and stuff I do like, and so I'll mention a couple that I really do enjoy, and I'm talking about in the prepper genre. And that would be Prepper Nation. I like Prepper Nation. I like the Unapologetic Prepper. There's 3 I got for you. And I like Pinball Preparedness. So, the one thing that rings true with all 3 of those channels, humility. Humility. None of those 3 are out there being the Billy Badass, Mr. Ego. They're just trying to help, They don't come off as, being all-knowing and so they're the leader, It's, no, they're just people talking to you, receiving as much, taking in as much as what they're putting out, and those are the type of people that you want to follow. Not the ones that every day's got 5 more things that they need to tell you or sell you in order for you to survive. I'm just saying. And there's a lot of them. And, I'm not necessarily saying that the people that are behind the channels are evil people or horrible people. But, yeah, okay, yeah, I take that back. I am. Because I think anytime you mislead people, it is a huge form of disrespect. Huge. And, I think a lot more people need to think a lot more about that. I really do, in this world. Because there's a lot of people that just, they see easy opportunities, they go for it. And I think that's what happens in the prepping community. Easy opportunities being, whatever, sales spots or whatever for a little bit of your time advertising a product or a service, or like you got this one thing, and it does frustrate me. This whole thing with this, and I'm not going to say the name of the company, because, I'm not saying anything bad about the company at all, not whatsoever. But I think it's awful ridiculous when prepping channel one day I tell you, oh yeah, go to this website, that website, get get fish antibiotics. It's the same thing, same thing. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And the next day, they're trying to sell you some type of medical subscription, with, qualified doctors to assist you now. It's ridiculous. It really, truly is ridiculous. Because again, these same channels just the day before, and I'm, exaggerating on that, was, telling you, oh, just go get the fish antibiotics. And now all of a sudden it's like, well, you really need this because you need somebody to assist you, as if that dude or lady is going to be there to answer that phone after the balloon goes up, right? Like another product I won't mention by brand name because I'll get sued, but it's a product that's to save your electronics from an EMP, okay? And, who are you going to sue? What court are you going to use to sue after an EMP happens and your devices don't work? I always find that stuff kind of funny. The other thing is, and I've mentioned before, and there's actually some prepper retreats, if you will, that operate on this contract thing. Like, if you wanted to join them, that's all good, but you have to sign a legal binding contract with them. Yeah, you might want to stay clear of that. Because once again, the facts of the matter are here, that if the balloon goes up, there won't be any courts. It'll be back down to the same thing it was with or without that piece of paper. The reason, well, and I can't say all of them, but you have to be careful. The reason why at least some of them are having you sign that contract is because they've got back doors. And in a time before the balloon goes up, if they so choose, they could just say, yep, I don't think I want this person or this family around, and I don't think I want them coming back and getting their things. Oh, contract, they violated this or however, right? And next thing you know, because you didn't read the fine print, you just lost everything you had invested in that location and the location itself. So be very mindful. There's a lot of snakes out there. In this industry. So be mindful of it. Now there was a question on, it might have been Prepper Nation, actually. I think it might have been. Somebody mentioned something about being careful about having contractors come out and do work on, your bug out location or whatever. And understandably, I get it. I think it was Prepper Nation. And immediately, my mind went to a few individuals that I wouldn't trust as far as I could throw them. And I'll say this, without naming them, they were directly involved in the TV show Doomsday Preppers. Okay? And they're in thought for a second, no matter what system he had to offer, if he had batteries that nobody else had to offer, I would have to pass up this guy on having a solar install done because I couldn't trust him as far as I could throw him. Why? Well, I think anybody that was involved with that show probably isn't up to par. I'm just saying. There's a lot of individuals that was on that show that ran into problems shortly after that show. And it wasn't just that show, okay? But here's the kicker. There were others that I guess interviewed for the show I guess, at least went through some level of the process but didn't get on the show, they had troubles too. Huh. Yeah. I'd be weary of that. Be wary of that. So just be careful. Be careful. Like I said, I was trolling with the title of tonight's show. Anybody that's been coming around here any length of time at all knows I don't do titles like that. So anyway, let me have a sip of coffee. And real quick, hang on. Alright, my nose is like running horribly this evening. So anyway, I did get something cool today. Something really, really cool. Thanks to my ex-wife, I don't have anything from my youth. I don't have anything that my grandfather handed down, or even the broken watch that was given to me to remember my father by. Nothing. None of it. I had a rocking chair that was bought for me when I was a little kid. I used that rocking chair. All three of my children have used that rocking chair. That was yet another thing that I lost, all thanks to my ex being sneaky, underhanded, deceitful, and evil. So like I said, I don't have anything. And I had some cool stuff from my youth and throughout my life. I had, I was talking about it today with a friend of ours that brought this by. I used to have a newspaper that was when I was in the 5th grade. And we had our teacher had us build model rockets. And getting close to time, the day to launch the rocket, she had mentioned, I heard her say that, there's possibility we wouldn't have time for everybody to get to launch their rocket. Well, I really wanted to launch my rocket. So I, on my own, 100%, built my own launch apparatus to be able to launch my own rocket, just in case there wasn't enough time. And I took it to school. That included stealing one of Mom's Tupperware bowls and drilling holes in it and stealing the switch from Dad out of the garage and the light fixture. I did it all myself. I was into that kind of stuff. And took it to school and indeed launched my rocket from it. And I do believe a couple other kids used it to launch their rockets as well. And so I guess there was a photographer out there for the town's newspaper and took a picture of my rocket taking off, and then wrote an article. And in the article, it talked about me and mentioned me by name and about my launch pad that I built. So that was kind of cool, And I had that, and I actually had that in a manila envelope. Also inside the manila envelope was a brown lunch bag. You remember the old brown lunch bags, right? Can we say that? That's racist now, ain't it? And so, what? And so, anyway, inside of that was, if not everyone, close to every letter that my oldest brother had wrote when he was in the Marines. And I had all of those in the same manila envelope as that newspaper. But I had all kinds of stuff. But anyway, let me get to the point. I'm sorry. Apparently, my aunt had, I'm assuming she made Christmas ornaments for us kids when we were small, and I guess she wanted us to each have our own Christmas ornaments. So thankfully, this made its way through because I don't speak with my family. I've got one brother I speak to from time to time, and that's it. So anyway, it made its way to a friend of ours, and she had dropped it off today. And so, I don't know, that's really, to me, it's really, really cool because this is like the only thing now. At least I have something. I got something from my childhood. So, that's awesome. I hope my ex, I'm sorry, I hope she rots in hell. Because nobody deserves what she put me through. All because she wanted away. Crazy. Anyway. Trying to think. I kind of just cleared my mind of pretty much everything. Trying to think. Yeah, I'm just drawing a blank. I don't have a lot to update you as far as the convoy is concerned. I can tell you that they drove today, and I can tell them that, or I can tell you that, and I can't remember the place off the top of my head. I guess not hard for me to pull it up. 1 second. Because, I mean, when people do this, they absolutely deserve a mention. And so that's what we're going to do. Alright. I'm just going to read what they have here. It says, we want to give a huge shout out to Longhorn Grill and Saloon. They are 2 hours away from our staging location and are currently tirelessly, and this was 6 hours ago, currently tirelessly cooking and will deliver supper for the entire convoy tonight. I just spoke with them and they fully support our movement and wanted to do their part. Thank you, Longhorn Grill and Saloon. We appreciate you. So that's in, I guess that would be Amado, Arizona. And so that's cool. And this thing is kind of cool too, and let me go ahead and read to you what it's about. It says we are super excited. Well, it says exited, but I'm sure she meant excited. We're super excited to announce that the People's Convoy will be participating in the America's Grand Jury April 11th through the 15th. This is a mock trial. Organizers Chris, Scott, and Rebecca will be in Tennessee for the entire 5-day trial. We will be joined on Thursday by Mike and Marcus, and the five of us will be sitting on the jury representing truckers and the People's Convoy. The trial will be live streamed on the website and other social media platforms. Stay tuned for updates. And they gave the Facebook page America's Grand Jury. You could join, and you can go to americasgrandjury.com, and you can watch a trailer and whatnot there. So anyway, just passing that along. Other than that, I know they made it where they were going, and that's about it. I haven't heard the evening meeting or anything like that. So and aside from that, I don't I was sifting through news all day, but nothing's just standing right out, you know. We do got a few tabs open to talk about. Hang on. Sinuses are driving me up a wall. All right. Okay. Been talking about this here lately, and this article came out today. EU faces historic decline in living standards, says MEP. It says Irish MEP Claire Daly has accused elected EU representatives of shooting ourselves in the foot by backing the imposition of sanctions on Russia, and warned that rejecting energy imports from Europe's largest country would lead to disastrous inflation, rocketing energy costs, and a historic decline in living standards while failing to deter Moscow. Addressing the EU Parliament on Wednesday, a day before it voted to support an immediate full embargo on Russian imports of oil, coal, nuclear fuel, and gas, Daly condemned the sanctions imposed by the bloc thus far as ineffective against the Kremlin and potentially catastrophic for Europeans. How is not selling Kerrygold butter to Russia going to save any Ukrainian lives? How is buying filthy, fracked U.S. gas going to stop the war? She exclaimed, referring to the American liquefied natural gas offered to European buyers by Washington, albeit at a higher cost than Russia's product. It says they won't, of course, because nowhere have sanctions have ever succeeded in ending a military assault or achieving regime change. What they have done is unleash economic devastation, increasingly being paid for by the citizens of Europe facing massive energy price hikes, inflation, and catastrophic decline in their living standards. Talk about shooting ourselves in the foot. So, yeah. And I'm telling you, it's coming here. I really believe that it's going to come here just as badly. The next one I've got for you is just crazy, and kind of embarrassed to be from the same state, to be honest. Illinois Church, and I know you're all going to join them, right? Illinois Church is fasting from whiteness for Lent, okay? So, will you all do the world a favor, and during Lent this year, try to be a little less white, just a little bit, right? I don't know how. I have no idea, but I'm not kidding. This is in Oak Park, Illinois, of course, up by Chirac, right? An Illinois church was declared that it's fasting from whiteness for Lent. For Lent this year, First United is doing a mix of giving something up and taking something on. First United Oak Park in Oak Park, Illinois stated on its website. The church said that includes dropping music or liturgy written or composed by white people. Our music will be drawn from the African American spirituals tradition, from South African freedom songs, from Native American traditions, and many, many more, it said. The church put up a sign on the property announcing the fast, stating that its worship services would be built around the voices of black people, indigenous people, and people of color. For Lent, it is our prayer that in our spiritual disciplines, we may grow as Christians, united in the body of Christ with people of all ages, nations, races, and origins, the church stated on its site. Lent, I won't read the rest, it's talking about Lent, but, so, here's the thing. What I don't get is the Father and the Son would be completely against segregating people based on color. Absolutely, completely against it. Alright? And it blows my mind that people will say that they're doing this. It blows my mind. And these are churches. These are churches. Where in the Bible does it say that we're supposed to be worried about each other's color or where each other's from? I don't know of anywhere. and the Bible I know, and I'm not saying that the Bible teaches you to just be weak, to just lie down. No, it doesn't, right? There's discernment, right? And to sit there and say that it wants me to segregate people and to focus on that when the Bible taught us not to focus on that, to focus on what's important. How are people doing? How are they doing? It doesn't matter what color they are. Are they hungry? Are they healthy? That's what matters. I don't know. I don't get it, and I'll never get it, but that's Illinois. Let's see. Meta plans to create currency. Facebook, essentially, right? Social media behemoth Meta is reportedly considering rolling out a digital currency, the Financial Times revealed on Wednesday, years after the company's initial efforts to create a cryptocurrency called Libra ran aground on combination of sifting regulations and user distrust. So now they're going to, I guess, try to do it again. And, man, I'm staying as far away from this digital currency as I can. I really am. I mean, I'm not saying that everybody should. That's not my standpoint on it. But I don't have money to blow. So, I'm not going to take a risk on a cryptocurrency. If I had money to invest in something, I would invest in something tangible that I have here that would better our chances of survival, Crypto's not going to do that for me. I don't have the kind of money to be able to be comfortable with the stuff that we do have and have extra to throw towards something that I could potentially lose everything, Yeah, and I don't necessarily think, that's the for sure future of crypto or anything like that, but I'm not willing to take the chance. Again, there are tons of people that have made a fortune, and more power to them. And if I was smart enough in the field and had the money for investment, I'd probably do it. But I have neither of those things. Oops. Hang on, let me grab a drink. Yeah. Pretty bad. I'm talking about this article. Fake agents arrested after bribing their way into Biden's inner circle. Yeah, so Haider Shirali Ali or something, Aryan Tazardeh have been arrested, I can't say the name, for impersonating Department of Homeland Security agents after 2 years spent showering Secret Service agents with gifts including guns and free apartments. Okay. A reason why they just passed them off and didn't think twice for them because they were they were DHS agents, but they were Middle Eastern, so they didn't see no need to question. And anyway, they were charged Wednesday with 1 count of false impersonation of an officer of the U.S., according to court filing. And no, I don't have anything against Middle Easterner people. It was a joke that specifically they were... Never mind. Let's see. 4 Secret Service officials in First Lady Jill Biden's detail who allegedly accepted gifts from the phony DHS agents have also been placed on administrative leave. Shirali and Taherzadeh, I don't know how. That's the best I'm going to get at that. Had lavished them with gifts including rent-free penthouse apartments, high-end electronics, police equipment, a drone, and the use of official government vehicles, among other goodies, They had specifically offered to buy $2,000 assault rifle for one of the agents assigned to the First Lady's security detail, according to the indictment. This is no big deal. And it says right here, the two men had apparently conned not only First Lady Jill Biden's Secret Service detail, but also the management of the building where they are living, and into believing they were federal agents investigating the January 6th Capitol riot, among other crimes. As a result, they got free use of over $40,000 worth of luxury real estate for their own use and that of the Secret Service agents. Nah, it's not a big deal, right? This not a big deal, right? I mean, not at all. I mean, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I mean, okay, so we knew Potato Joe is a buffoon. But all of them? I mean, like, all of them are buffoons? I mean, okay. This is like crazy. It's only like, it's just the president and the first lady. Oh, hell. We trust them guys. He kind of looks like Bob. Don't he kind of look like Bob? Yeah, he's good. Bring him on over. I need better drugs. That's what I need. I need better drugs. Something. U.S. territory hit by massive power outage. I'm sure you probably heard about this. I'll go ahead and read the first little bit of it, but it says nearly 350,000 customers have been left without electricity after Puerto Rico was hit by a major power outage late on Wednesday. I'll get it right. The blackout was caused by a fire at Costa Sur, one of the largest power plants on the Caribbean island. The blaze triggered emergency shutoffs at other units, according to the Puerto Rico. I can't say that. Puerto. I don't know. Electric Power Authority, or PREPA. Firefighters have been working late into the night extinguishing the flames. The power grid has suffered a massive island-wide blackout, potentially caused by a circuit breaker failure at the Costa Sur generation plant. We are not clear on the exact cause at this time, grid operator Luma Energy said in a statement. So, now, I don't know if this was anything nefarious or if this was anything, just an accident or just something failing or what happened here. But it should be a good reminder to folks to be ready, even if it's just for the short term, But there are still some people, I believe, down there that don't have power from back when that hurricane hit. But have something, whatever it is that you absolutely have to have, right? And for us, light, obviously, but communications, those are key. But even at this point, I couldn't power the fridge or anything like that, so we would lose all of our food in the fridge, not, of course, the prepper food, but we lose the refrigerator food. But we would have enough, like I say, for in my opinion, the important stuff, which is being able to keep that communication going and to make sure you have light. Light's a biggie, and I really don't think that there's enough people that focus enough on it. I really don't. And it's one of those things I think it's going to bite a lot of people in the butt, because one thing or another is going to happen. They're going to run out of lights, whether it's flashlights and they break them, lose them, whatever the case may be. I just have a feeling there's going to be a lot of people that wish they would have prepared with light a little bit better. But anyway, just make sure. And anything can happen anytime. This obviously wasn't even like a storm that they could see that was coming in, That's one thing when you expect there might be problems, but when something random like this just happens, it's a whole different thing. But and it's probably a good time to make sure all your batteries are charged and all that stuff. Because I'm telling you, man, I am not liking how things are looking internationally. I'm not. And that's more towards where we're going to be going. Have a sip of coffee. Let's see. NATO accuses China of issuing a challenge. NATO Secretary Jens Stoltenberg has declared that by being unwilling to condemn Russia's aggression, China has issued a challenge to the Cold War-era alliance. Beijing has remained neutral on the conflict in Ukraine, but has accused NATO of fomenting the crisis by expanding into Eastern Europe. We have seen that China is unwilling to condemn Russia's aggression, and Beijing has joined Moscow in questioning the right of the nations to choose their own path, Stoltenberg told reporters in Brussels on Thursday. Following a meeting of NATO foreign ministers, along with Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmitry Kuleba and officials from Australia, Japan, New Zealand, and South Korea. This is a serious challenge to us all, Stoltenberg added. It makes even more important that we stand together. China has repeatedly called for a diplomatic end to the war in Ukraine, but has not joined Western powers in sanctioning Moscow and has continued to trade with its Eurasian neighbor. So, and that's the only one I had involving China. The rest are involving Russia. Not good. These are significant moves. It says here, U.S. withdraws from cybersecurity dialogue. The United States has unilaterally closed communication channels with Russia regarding cybersecurity, Russian Security Council Deputy Secretary Oleg Kremlov has said. Now, this is essentially right back in the Cold War, and I think they've still got one, and in fact, I think we're going to be getting to that one. But they had the red phone, right? And this would be essentially like the United States unplugging the red phone. Pretty much the same thing. The two nations previously exchanged lists of critical internet infrastructure under the auspices of Russian Security Council and the U.S. National Security Council after Moscow sent Washington proposals aimed at taking joint measures to protect both countries' critical infrastructure from cyber attacks. Are you listening? The White House has now notified us that it is unilaterally withdrawing from the negotiation process and closing the communication channel, Kremlov announced. Russia and the U.S. previously agreed that it was critically important for the two countries to work together and combine our efforts to fight cybercrime instead of barking at one another like dogs, Russian President Vladimir Putin said after a summit with U.S. President Joe Biden last summer. So, I will do the Kremlov, and I know I'm saying his name wrong, claims that U.S. Cyber Command is being actively pumped up by taxpayer dollars and intends to launch a preemptive cyber attack against Russia. I don't know, and I do take into heavy consideration that stuff contained in these articles are going to have propaganda. Because why? Because that's what they do. But the thing I like about RT is they'll put the information out there, period. Yeah, sure, they'll throw in their bit. But you can still at least glean the data from the article. And that's what is most important to me. And the main thing here is the U.S. unplugged the phone, essentially. And that's a big move. It's a very, very big move. And considering that this is particularly the quote-unquote phone involving cybersecurity, you might want to think about that a little bit. Russia suspended from UN Human Rights Council. Now, this is pretty big. The United Nations General Assembly voted on Thursday to suspend Russia from the UN Human Rights Council. The resolution proposed by the U.S. received 93 votes, with 24 members opposed and 58 abstaining. Now, here's something, and I don't know that it's going to be right. I believe one of the countries, and it isn't listed here. Wait a minute, I can find out. 1 second. Yes, that is correct. So, one of the countries that abstained was Mexico, right? I just wanted to note that, our neighbor to the south that has an open border into our country. And, they abstained from voting. So, there's that. I just wanted to make note of that. I don't like that fact. I personally feel that, that says something very clear to me. And that's that the U.S.-Mexico relations probably aren't as good as we're being led to believe. So, just saying. Pentagon says Russian military won't pick up the phone. Interesting, right? Now, I don't think this is the cyber thing. I think this is the other, I think, essentially the red phone. U.S. military leaders have had no communication with their counterparts in Moscow since the beginning of Russia's military operation in Ukraine. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin reiterated at a Senate Armed Services Committee hearing on Thursday. General Mark Milley, the chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff, and myself have frequently reached out to our counterparts in Russia to try to ensure that we maintain a dialogue that's in the last since mid-February, Austin told the senators. That's not been very successful because the Russians have not responded, he added. While the Pentagon chief said he was disappointed by this, he added, it doesn't mean we'll stop reaching out to engage them. I think we have to have the ability to talk to the leadership. Austin had been summoned to the Senate to answer questions about the Pentagon's requested 2023 budget, the largest in U.S. history. So, now anyway, it says, at a March 30th press briefing, Pentagon spokesman John Kirby admitted there had been no conversations to speak of with the Russian military, but professed a willingness to have those discussions after a reporter asked whether Washington had been in touch with Russia's military leadership. But it's a two-way street. The Russians have been willing to pick up the phone, and thus far they have not been willing to do that. It says the Russians have to be willing to pick up the phone, and thus far they haven't been willing to do that, Kirby added. So, but at the same time, hang on, could I close these tabs out? We withdrew. And this is two different systems. To my knowledge, this is two different things, right? Two different, more or less like two different groups of people. But I found that very, very interesting. Just like I say, make sure you got your batteries charged up. Make sure, and I'm not trying to fearmonger or anything like that. Not trying to sell you nothing. Just do what you know you need to do, and make sure you're ready. Because if something stupid kicks off, it could happen real quick, like. It doesn't take that long to shut off power into this entire country. Whether that be EMP, cyber attack, blink of an eye, our lives could change. So, and again, not trying to fearmonger or anything like that. I'm realistic. I shared something the other day. I thought it was kind of funny. I'll share it with you. You guys have probably seen this, or heard this, I mean. Said a pessimist sees a dark tunnel, an optimist sees a light at the end of the tunnel, a realist sees a freight train light in the tunnel, the train engineer sees 3 idiots standing on the tracks. Perspective is everything, choose wisely. So anyway, thought it was funny. That is true, and that's why I don't take political sides, because that's, it's like being the train engineer looking at the idiots on the tracks, right? Arguing over who they want to be their master. Yeah, no thank you. Oh, man. Fun times. I reckon I'll run through headlines, get out of here for the week, and relax. No, probably not relax, but I'm having a few vapes because, hey, they don't pay me enough to work that hard here. Oh, goodness. Can't wait until this coming week. Temperatures are going to sneak up into the 70s, and it looks like it's going to stay pretty nice. I have been looking forward to that. All right. Read some headlines and get out of here. Let's see. These are all shared out from this morning. Macron defends dialogue with Russia. Russia responds to Poland's nuclear proposal. Pentagon confirms complete withdrawal of Russian troops. More Russian diplomats expelled, which that's other notable things that went on today. A ruble stronger than before Ukraine crisis. Armenia announces Azerbaijan peace talks agreement. Royal Navy hit by major fuel theft. Yeah, they were hit pretty good. Poland reveals new anti-Russia proposals. EU reveals when oil import ban will be discussed. Covered that. Zelensky reveals plans for security summit. Russia bans Google ads. Russian energy paid for in yuan is heading to China, says reports. Does that mean, by the way, since Russia banned Google ads, does that mean any Russians that come to the website and click on one of our Google ads that I won't get credit for? That's not cool. Why are you sanctioning me, bro? I'm kidding. Russia responds to possible expulsion from UN body. Spotify sets deadline for Russia. Moscow reacts to latest U.S. move on Ukraine. Russian Russian railways blocked from paying Western bondholders. I covered that. Chinese army warns against foreign meddling in Taiwan. Oil major reveals the cost of leaving Russia. NATO disagrees over Russia, says the media. Russia outlines its crypto position. Sex cult abuser Larry Ray guilty on all counts. Ukraine slams EU member over Russian gas. Russia denounces seizure of its works of art worth millions. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. West is accused of piracy. Ukraine's neighbor wants to play major part in peace talks. Covers that. EU Parliament votes on total Russian energy ban. Russian PM cautions about App Store and Google Play. I guess they're going to set up their own, like, software distribution, if you will. Kremlin sets timetable for Russia's economic recovery. Covered that. Finnish FM weighs in on seized Russian art. Covered that. Ukrainian envoy takes hit over statement on Russians. Zelensky's co-speaker in address to Greek parliament slammed as inappropriate. EU citizens face historic decline in living standards. Oh, I covered that, sorry. U.S. airline to replace jets with buses. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's going to delay your arrival time a little bit, but yeah. Ukraine makes World War II comparison about the Donbass. I covered that. Historic transfer of power occurs in Yemen. UK says age of engagement with Russia is over. Covered that. Kremlin hopes operation in Ukraine ends in the coming days. New U.S. Supreme Court justice confirmed. 2 killed in shooting in Israel. Pentagon says Russian military won't... I did cover that, sorry. Scientists say they found dinosaur killed by an asteroid. Phone call shed light on what happened near Kiev. Nobel Peace Prize laureate attacked with paint. Hackers order Ukrainians to surrender, says Meta. And I covered that. And that's it. That's the headlines. Don't see anything new up there. Nope. That would be it. Wow, I still finished before 9. I figured I'd be a little past 9 tonight. Anyway. Don't really know of anything else. Been, today has been, as far as news, I mean, there was a lot of important news that came out, obviously, but I have a feeling tomorrow's going to be more interesting. So, I have a feeling tomorrow it's going to be a doozy. So, keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open and give one more step towards preparedness where you want to be in preparedness, Just choose your gear wisely and do your best. I really don't think we have a long time before things get pretty hairy. I don't know what that's going to look like. Don't know how it's going to come. Because we got so many different things. We got economic collapse. We've got shortages. We've got potential war. And again, I'm not trying to fearmonger. I'm just trying to be realistic with you. I'm not trying to be one of the idiots standing on the tracks either. I want to be the engineer looking at it and saying, okay, I don't want to put all my eggs into an EMP basket or a war basket or a cyber attack basket or an economic collapse basket. No, my advice is to be that train engineer and keep an eye on all those baskets. Be prepared to try to deal with any of them. So, anyway, I think that's all I got for you. Just sneak out the back door and start my weekend. Anyway, I hope you all have a good weekend. God willing, we'll be back Sunday night. I hope to see you then. As always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. And shalom.